It is truly an honor to be here today at the inaugural TEDxKelowna conference, alongside such a diverse group of speakers, a group who have removed impossible from the vocabulary and who represent hope, vision, service, determination, and success. Now, if I was a gambling man, which I am, I would guess that everybody in this room today represents what I call that 306-degree young professional. Educated, hardworking, entrepreneurial, ambitious, centers of influence, and with a strong moral compass. This balanced lifestyle which you have chosen and these characteristics that you exude will only help in furthering your reputation as a leader. Now, with leadership comes responsibility. A responsibility to your family and friends, a responsibility to your business and employees, a responsibility to your country and fellow man. And let us not forget a responsibility to your community. Unfortunately, while the universal need for giving back has never been higher, so few are doing it. One volunteer statistic I recently read said that 80% of people do not volunteer because they simply aren't asked. Another statistic reads that 75% of people don't volunteer simply because they don't have the time. There we go. By a show of hands here today, how many of you here feel like you lead busy lifestyles? Exactly. Every one of us are busy, and tomorrow always seems to be busier than today. However, no matter how time-strapped we are, we will always find the time to go for beers with our friends, to watch that important hockey game on TV, to get that quick workout in at the gym. These things we do without consideration of time. They're an expression of who we are, a priority in our life. A lack of time, however, can no longer be a legitimate excuse for not giving back. You as leaders and as 360-degree young professionals need to promote this balanced and a complete approach to life, where giving back and service to your community becomes a priority. And over the course of these next 10 to 12 minutes, I'm going to explain to you how I personally have taken on this approach and brought both happiness and purpose into my life. The first step is to find something you are passionate about. Ask yourself the question, what has impacted my life? What would I like to get involved in where I can leave a mark and make a difference? For me personally, one of my greatest passions in life is sport. So it is not surprising that my charity I chose revolves around that very passion. That being Special Olympics, a worldwide organization designed to enrich the lives of those individuals with an intellectual disability through sport. At an early age, my parents had my brothers and I volunteering at Special Olympics fundraising events. And I appreciated the cause and I enjoyed these events, but I still did not feel that I had a real buy-in. Then one day, a Special Olympic athlete by the name of Kevin Timberlake suggested I come out and watch one of his floor hockey games. I watched them train and compete and scrimmage, and I quickly realized there was a lot more to Special Olympics. And it is safe to say that Kevin's invite changed my perception overnight. And the following week, I signed up as a coach. What became glaringly clear for me through my coaching experience was that sport and competition and training not only provides these athletes improvements in physical fitness, but much needed enhancements in self-perception, sportsmanship, a feeling of self-worth, and respect. Fellow speaker today and lifetime mentor of mine, Dr. Frank Hayden, the creator of the Special Olympics movement, realized before anyone else on this earth that everyone needs a vehicle for self-development and an avenue for self-expression in order to succeed in life. For these athletes, that vehicle is sport, and the avenue is Special Olympics. Sitting down at the beer market having a few pints with my brothers back in November of 2001, we realized we wanted to give more to this movement. We wanted to create an organization that would raise not only funds, but awareness. Something that would educate Canada's leaders on the importance of the movement. Something that would integrate the cause, that being the athletes, with our supporters and donors. And finally, something that would celebrate the idea of bringing fun back into giving. Our biggest concern was not our lack of passion, nor was it our business strategy, but rather time. We were all fairly new to the corporate world, and our expectations for success within our chosen career paths were very high. Fortunately, two of the three brothers were working in the family business, Etherington Generations, which is a privately held insurance consultancy firm. And 12 years ago, we as both family members and equal shareholders of the business agreed to introduce a corporate mandate that introduced this balanced approach to life. All four partners agreed that Etherington Generations' corporate mission statement would A, include an obligation to serve the community, B, would encourage volunteer service within the next generation of our business leaders, and C, would focus on raising needed funds and awareness for the marginalized sector of our population. This integration of corporate and community values went so far as to define our profit-sharing formula. No money is withdrawn beyond basic salaries until break-even is reached. And then at year-end, 6 equal dividends are allocated, 1 to the firm, 4 to the principals, and 1 to the community. Now let me be clear on this. If you are of the mindset that at least 25% of your time and 1/6 of your profit is going to be directed back to the community, you will pay an economic price and your ultimate earthly net worth will be diminished. However, it was George Sheehan who said, "Success means having the courage, the will, and the determination to become the person you believe you're meant to be." This balanced corporate philosophy that hinged on the concept of giving back gave my brothers and I the necessary leverage to launch our own not-for-profit, motionball. Since day one, motionball's mission has been to introduce the next generation of donors, volunteers, and sponsors to the Special Olympics movement through integrated social and sporting events. Our target audience are the individuals who are working their way up the corporate ladder, are centers of influence, socially active, and decision makers, and who believe in the importance of giving back to their community. Financially, motionball has donated over $3 million to the Special Olympics movement. We are proud of this, but there are a lot more charities out there raising a lot more money. Our objective by 2014 is to be donating $1 million annually. However, far more important than the dollars raised is the awareness component of our mission. Our goal is to have every young Canadian professional aware of both our brand and that of Special Olympics. We want to provide these individuals with a voice, a platform, and we also want to give them the opportunity to play sport, just like we all did growing up here in Canada. Now, motionball had its roots in Toronto, and for the first 4 years of our existence, we kept it local. We realized, however, that in order to make a true difference, we would have to go national. So in 2006, we took the plunge. Now, it is safe to say that I'm a bit of an optimist. Some might even call me a dreamer. However, it comes to me honestly. My father met the girl of his dreams on a Tuesday, and on the Saturday of that same week, he proposed to her. And this May, they celebrated their 41st wedding anniversary. But I digress. Dreamer or not, I was convinced of our mission and mandate, and verbally committed to both my brothers and the motionball board that by 2012, we will have launched 5 new chapters across Canada. In the early stages of our national expansion, we assumed too much from our Toronto successes. We were pretty much 5 for 5 for Bob Glanfield's common business blunders. And I believe it was Bill Gates who said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can make no mistakes." However, we were still confident in our brand and adamant that our preference was to lead versus follow. We knew that this practice is rife with both risk and reward, success and failure, but in the end, it is only those who do nothing who make no mistakes. We tightened up our expansion playbook and learned from our prior errors. Experience had now proven to us that in order to be successful in these expansion cities, we would have to find these centers of influence, individuals willing to roll up their sleeves and to help us make a difference. Once that volunteer event director was found, we would inundate him or her with our event playbooks, support them with our local sponsorship pitches, and provide them admin support. I'm happy to report that now, as of tomorrow, we will be running 12 annual events in 7 cities across 5 provinces. And I'd like to give a big shout out today to Michael, who's at the back there, who is launching our Chapter 7 tomorrow for our Kelowna Marathon of Sport. Thank you, Mike. So pumped. Motionball is still in its infancy, and there is still much to do. But I am confident that through hard work and continued passion, we will continue to succeed. Everything that I am passionate about, everything that I've experienced both in my work environment and in my social life, I've incorporated it into motionball. It truly defines who I am as a person. Winston Churchill once said, "You make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give." And this is something that I truly believe in. Sadly, however, there are many young Canadians today with a shared feeling of powerlessness to affect change. You just need to look at the social Occupy Canada movement or the significant decline in Canadian voters to realize this growing phenomena and social concern. Whilst Canada's democratic principles thankfully provide us freedom of expression, both these trends reflect a negative apprehension among young Canadians about their ability to make a difference at a time when this next generation should be seeing themselves rightfully as Canada's future. The bottom line is that it doesn't have to be difficult to exact change. All you need is a willingness and the determination to better the world around you. Find the time, separate yourself from the pack, and make a difference. Be the change you wish to see in this world, and become that leader you were meant to be. Ralph Emerson said it best when he said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." No longer can we rely on others to determine our course of direction in this world. We are all our own captains. We must make our own decisions, and we will only be as successful as the dreams we aspire to. When it comes down to the final buzzer and you take your last breath, what social footprint will you have left behind? For that is ultimately how you will be judged. Will your footprint be written around the company you built or the family you nurtured, perhaps the friends you inspired, or the philanthropic initiatives you launched? If, however, you are that true 360-degree young professional, it will be all the above that define you as a person and help mold the legacy which you leave behind. Now, I'm going to ask each and every one of you today to stand up for a minute. And I want you all to respond to my question, "Who am I?" with the response, "I am a leader." And I'm going to ask you to not be shy about it. I want you guys to be loud and proud. So let's give it a go. Who am I? That's right. You need to remember this all throughout life. I will conquer what has not been conquered. Defeat will not be in my creed. I will believe what others have doubted. Who am I? I will acknowledge the fact that my opponents do not expect me to win, but I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. Perseverance produces character, character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint. Who am I? I will gladly go into the field of life and do everything in my power to exact positive change. Never will I forget those in need, never will I take the easy road out, and never will I turn my back on those less fortunate. Who am I? No one will tell me what I can and cannot be. Principle and integrity will always win out. Belief will change my world. It has moved continents, it has moved countries, and has put man on the moon. And it will carry me through life's battles. Who am I? Today will be that day. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, right here in this moment. History will remember me. I will define myself, and I will write my own legacy. Who am I? My time on earth is like the brief flicker of a matchstick. It is short and fleeting. However, my legacy can be forever. Who am I? Who am I? Thank you, Kelowna.